Hey, what's going on, everybody? Navid Moas is here. I have Ryan Levesque with me, and he's going to talk a little bit about his new program, the Quiz Funnel Masterclass, and maybe how it's different than Ask Method Masterclass. Because if you've been in my audience for a little while, or maybe you're new to me, you might have still heard about his Ask Method Masterclass program. He sold well over $10 million of that program. Lots of students going through it with great success. But now, for the first time ever, he's coming out with the Quiz Funnel Masterclass in an online format. So Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about what they can expect if they sign up for the Quiz Funnel Masterclass, during this promotion you have going on?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's awesome to be here as always, Naveed. So Quiz Funnels. The Quiz Funnel Masterclass is a brand new program. It's something we've never released before. In fact, it's something that people have been practically begging us to release for the last 3 years. Now, previously, the only way to learn how to build a quiz funnel in the way that I am covering inside this masterclass was to attend one of our in-person quiz funnel boot camps. Now, these quiz funnel boot camps were not cheap. $5,000 per person, plus travel expenses, plus you have to fly to our headquarters here in Austin, Texas. And frankly, the reason why we didn't have an online version of this is because we have so many people flying to Austin to learn this information, and we're able to charge that much for this information. But with everything that's happened in the world and the fact that COVID-19 kind of changed people's ability to travel, we said, all right, let's fast forward our plans. We were thinking at some point in the future, maybe a year, 2, 3 years down the road, we'd create an online version of this training, but let's fast forward those plans. Let's bring it to the world this year. And so for the very first time ever, I'm teaching this information in the form of an online training program. So that kind of gives you a little bit of idea around the Quiz Funnel Masterclass at a high level. Second part of your question, how is it different from the Ask Method Masterclass? Well, the Ask Method Masterclass is really focused in on using the power of surveys to understand your market at a deep emotional level, how to ask the right questions to understand the challenges people are struggling with in your market, to understand the language they use to describe those challenges. It's really focused in on kind of that market research aspect of the process. In contrast, the Quiz Funnel Masterclass is very specific. The goal of this program, the outcome of this program, is you're going to walk away with your quiz funnel built. And there's no better way to generate leads, to generate clients, to generate sales online than to do so on the back of a high converting quiz funnel. And we're going to go through dozens of examples. We're going to go through the process from start to finish. In fact, you are going to come up with not only your quiz idea, but the questions. We're going to create the pages before and after someone takes your quiz, the offer that you're selling on the back of your quiz. We're covering traffic, how to drive traffic to the quiz itself. So this is the program that you've been waiting for. If you've been wanting to create a high converting quiz funnel for your business, this is the definitive program for that.
Awesome. And how is this how, if you have taken the Ask Method Masterclass, that's what I was going to ask. Like, let's say me, for example, I've taken the Ask Method Masterclass, and I guess you're covering you do cover it in there in a way, but not as in-depth. That's kind of what I would, you cover it in a way, but not maybe as in-depth as you will in the Quiz Funnel Masterclass program. So can you talk to that a little bit? Because I'm sure I'm going to have people asking, hey, I already took one of Ryan's amazing programs, but I don't know if I need another one, that you're coming out with. So why would people sign up for that?
So to put it in perspective, because there's so much that we cover inside the Ask Method Masterclass, we devote about 45 minutes to the topic of quizzes in what is about a 25 hour course. So that's kind of the scope of what we cover inside the Ask Method Masterclass. Inside the Quiz Funnel Masterclass, this is a 6-week program where we go through the process of creating a quiz funnel from start to finish. The entire thing is about quiz funnels. So we're going deeper than I've ever gone before, not just only in the step-by-step, but with the examples, covering topics that people have been begging us to cover, like what about driving traffic to a quiz funnel? What should my campaign look like? What should my ads look like? What should my creative look like? Going deep into the topic of the individual questions that you're asking to figure out how to drive people into your offer, covering the tech in detail. Actually, how do you actually get this set up in the technology in the sort of best practice way? So you can imagine the difference between a 45-minute session in a 20+ hour course devoted to quizzes versus an entire program over the course of 6 modules that's focused on nothing but quiz funnels alone. So this is the definitive course on quiz funnels. It's unlike anything that we've ever put together before. Like I said previously, the only way to get access to this depth of information was to fly to our headquarters, attend a 3-day Quiz Funnel Bootcamp, which, by the way, are 3 10-hour days. So 3 10-hour days, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. We end at 6 o'clock at night. You've got homework every single day. So we've taken that experience and we've brought it online in the form of this Quiz Funnel Masterclass.
Wow, I'm super excited for this. I mean, that kind of answers it to anyone who has doubts about whether or not you should sign up. I think it's a great opportunity. I will myself go through it, create my quizzes for my business for different things, as I mentioned. And you can go to navid.me/quizfunnel and you can see if this is for you. He has all the information there about the program. Also, you can get my exclusive bonus experience, so you can read some more about that here as well. And I hope to see you in the program. That's kind of the last final words here. I don't know if you have anything else you would like to share around this, Ryan. Otherwise, we'll wrap this one up here.
No, I think that's great. I'm so looking forward to having you part of the program. We've got some incredible bonuses that are covered right here on this page. So keep all that in mind. These are exclusive bonuses when you sign up now and when you sign up through this page right here. So those bonuses alone are worth more than the price of admission into the program. So consider that as well. And I look forward to having you part of the training.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan, for coming on here. Ciao for now.